my favorite Caravaggio paintings of this scene, he has Peter with the net full of fish in one hand, and the other is Jesus in the other. And it's like this interior tug of war. Do I stick with what I'm used to? Or do I go out into the deep and follow Jesus? And it's this tension, and you can tell it's not resolved yet. And as you witness this, then you start to get a little closer to it, and you realize, like, on one hand, there's this kind of smelly fish, old fish type of net on one hand, and then this other Jesus with his light. And Caravaggio is so good at contrasting darkness and light, and you can tell that in this man's heart, Peter, there's this decision to be made. It's like, this is going to be a game-changing moment for him. And you can, like, the drama of saying he left everything and followed him is something that is obvious, that makes the gospel so different than any other thing that we can read. Because it's not just, simply like white knuckling through and giving up everything. It's about a relationship. And it's this hand that's reaching out to Peter, not to just simply let go of the fish, but to hold on to him. And I feel like, at least in my own life, sometimes it can be that. Of like, you feel like you're letting go of something, but really, am I clinging? Am I holding? Am I really following and trusting in the Lord's path? And maybe all of us have a little laundry to go through, and see, what is it that I need to maybe donate, clean, get rid of, do some little, purging, so that I can simplify my life and be able to hold on to this hand of Jesus that reaches out. Last night I got to celebrate a dinner with my family, because we have the festival these next 4 nights, and I leave on Labor Day, and it was just neat to be with my parents and a couple of my siblings, and just be able to go around and see some of the things going on in their own lives, and also to be able to share some of the things that I want to accomplish in the sabbatical that I'm going to be heading on Monday. And one of the things that was just there is the appreciation of so many people in my life who have helped me be where I am, and be able to take these 6 months is because of the support of our staff and the deacons and the priests and you all, and obviously the bishop and my family, to be able to support me through prayer, support me through so many of you who have sent me notes and have wished me well on this journey that I'm on. And I just can't help but to think that everybody's doing the same thing for me, encouraging me to just be closer to the heart of Christ. And it's in the heart of Christ that one can refresh, renew, and reinvigorate our lives. And that's what I look so forward to. When I went to the bishop to ask for the sabbatical, it was right after Holy Week. And I remember during this Holy Week just thinking over and over again, all these things that we get to contemplate, from Palm Sunday, where Jesus rides in on a donkey and everybody's waving those biblical terrible towels, the palms, because it's a sign of sure victory, which is what the Steelers are about, right? And it's the same thing. And so you see Jesus going right in there, and you realize that the victory comes from him showing us why he does what he does. Because he's on the Father's chest. He's resting on the Father's lap. He's constantly doing what his Father wants. And as the beloved Son, he shows to us how to be the beloved children of the Father. And typically what it means is Holy Week. We call it Holy Week, but for me, if you look at it, it's Hell Week. I mean, he gets abandoned by all his friends. He gets whipped, scourged, crowned, carry cross. I mean, just watch Mel Gibson's version of The Passion, and you get just one sliver of Hell Week, right? But it's called Holy Week. The ultimate day, Good Friday. I mean, whoever named Good Friday has a great sense of humor, right? You realize. But that's the pathway, because it has to be that way, because the Father's love for each of us comes into a world of enemy-occupied territory. And so it's not normal. It's not accepted to have our core identity be the beloved children of the Father. And so ultimately, a lot of things build up in our minds and our hearts to dissuade us or to distract us or to get us attached or addicted to other things that don't allow us to just be able to know. For the first moment of conception, throughout eternity, there's an identity that never changes in us. Our body might be bigger, it might be uglier, it might be nicer, it might be more strong, it might be prettier, it might be whatever it is, from the time we are conceived until we are now, until we ultimately get the glorious body in heaven. But it's all the same. It's an identity of being the beloved children of the Father. And so it's good for us to recognize Jesus' why and allow us to be empowered by him through the Eucharist so that every day our why connects with his. Jesus comes to us to let us rest once again on the Father's lap, to realize that we are the beloved children of the Father. And no one, nothing that we can do, nobody that we look at, nothing in this world can ever take us away from that core identity. As I was walking in here today, somebody was mourning the loss of their dear dad, talked about the fact that I think he was only 99 when he died. But then somebody said, yeah, but he was in his mother's womb for 9 months, so he had actually been 100. You know, like, yes, that's exactly the way we need to count our lives. Like, we have been that. And so one day I was praying about my own 9 months in my mom's womb. It was so beautiful. I was in front of the Blessed Sacrament with Scott and Emily, these two people that I've been praying with for a while. They're like, we're going to just contemplate the 9 months in your mother's womb. I'm like, okay, how do you do that? And they had these very beautiful reflections. And all of a sudden it came to me. The day I was born was September 23rd. So if you rewind 9 months backwards, do you know what you get to? December 23rd. Do you know the date I was ordained? December 23rd. And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you explain that, right? So precious, the gift of my own life and the gift of my own priesthood. So intertwined in being the beloved of the Father. And Jesus, who constantly, it's not just a one-off thing about like this, you know, hey, do I want to get the fish or do Jesus? It's every day. So easy to look at the world around us and want this to be like this, when Jesus is always calling us to be restored, to be the beloved sons and daughters of the Father. And so that's why for me, at 11:02 every day, I'll be praying for our parish, because that will always remind me that I'm the beloved child of the Father, and everyone in our parish, that is our mission. To realize how Jesus empowers us through the Eucharist to lift us up, to be the beloved. And I asked Jesus how to pray. 11:02 is the answer.